going on with the timer? Oh, here you go. I see the timer. Hello again, James here. Want to make another video. It is concerning with about the black militia that what happened down there and the criticism that they receive online from different individuals, and how the way someone accidentally got shot. Well, the guy who was a head of that explained what really happened, and someone really did pass out, and it makes sense that when you're marching in that much heat and you don't stay hydrated, things can happen. And so nobody did get hurt, no one did get shot, no one did get killed, no one did get arrested. And he was right. I watched all like 3 or 4 of these videos on different people getting the different perspective of what happened down there in Louisville, Kentucky, and he was right. People took that video and they interpreted their own different way, and they start saying that how irresponsible that they was and they wouldn't train right and everything, which that was least further from the truth. That guy who ran that, this guy is smart. I never seen a man that can get that many people to a city that fast. He got within a week. He got almost close. It looked like it was more than over 2,000 or 3,000 people down there, and it was just amazing that this guy was able to, and he said that, and he's the kind of person that said he gonna do something, he gonna do it. He's not the kind of person that talks a lot of mess and say what they're gonna do. He backs up what he said he's gonna do. And I was like, wow, this guy's nothing to play with. And then whenever he was talking, describing himself and his background and how people were making accusations, and he backed it up. He backed up that he was into politics. He backed up he was an entertainer. He backed up he was in the service. He was backing up everything that he was saying. And it was basically on YouTube in the video. People would have really researched him. And what was amazed me about the guy is how how smart, intelligent that man is. And a lot of people didn't quite seem to understand, well, why is he some kind of agent? He's some kind of this? No. So, sometimes it's good to listen to both sides of the story. Whenever you go into politics and you're trying to make a difference in your community, you can't come up with you can't come off a certain way. You have to put on a different, what I call a coat, and you have to show a different demeanor. It depends on the territory you're in. It depends on the people you come across. You can't come being so radical from the first, because people are not going to respect you. But if you come in a different dimension, that is to them that it seems like they think that they up under you, because he seemed less threatening. And I was seeing that how he did meet with some politicians, and so he had to come with rationality in order to understand what was behind the scenes on how the way politics go. And how laws go, and I said, this guy's really, really smart. I mean, real quick, and his military background proved it. I mean, you could tell when he was giving up. I was asking a friend of mine who also was in the military. I was telling him about the situation, and I said, John, is this right? Is this true about the medals, about how the way they put the army gear on and everything? And my friend was telling me, yeah, he's absolutely right. And about the one part where, when the brigade, how they rest on one knee. Now, someone criticized about that, but what they don't know is when you look at sports, when somebody go down in sports, all the players, football players, will get on one knee, and what they're doing is not surrendering. They're getting on one knee to pray for that person, that person get up off the ground and be able to walk again. So that's a symbolism of rest and prayer. And so they do that even in the military. when they give honor with somebody, and this was taught even with people say with Colin Kaepernick. It was a Colin Kaepernick learned from a veteran that was in the service. He said that's why when he got on one knee, he would kneel, and when a soldier get on his knee, it means you submit to the Creator, and it means you humble down. It doesn't mean that you humble down to the man. It means you humble down to the Creator. A lot of people didn't understand that, so it was this situation. It was a certain YouTuber that criticized they were on their knees right in front of the enemy, and why you gonna get on one knees you could tell that this person didn't know what they were saying, didn't understand what it was all about. It wasn't submitting to the enemy. It was acknowledging they was military trained. So they're military trained. What they do is when a comrade is hurt, that's a symbolism of prayer and rest and stand down. That's basically what it is. A lot of people think that it means honor. You honoring. Soldiers do that in honor. And throughout history and time, that's what they would do after the war. They would rest on one knee. When they come from a battle, they will rest on one knee. It don't mean that they submit to anything. It don't mean that they submitted to the enemy. That what they mean that when you submit, it means you praying, you're giving God honor. That's what they were doing down there. So there was some people running that their mouth about that, and they didn't even know. I understood right away because I heard someone say that a while back. That's why Colin Kaepernick, when he would take a knee, he was honoring the veterans, but he was honoring. He wasn't disrespecting the flag. That he was honoring the Most High, not the country. He was honoring. That's an honor symbol of honorism, and people in the service do that. So if someone chooses to take a knee, it doesn't mean. Now that was a sense of honor, because when the soldiers go on the battlefield and one of their comrades get hurt and die, and I don't care if the flag is flying or not, they get on their knees. And my buddy of mine who told me this, and I talked with a couple people that's been in the service. That's what they would do when they would walk so many different kind of miles. You take a knee, you rest. Some people and there were some people that took a rest with one knee, and some would stand up, because that means you can rest. If there's you just can't sit down, because it's kind of hard to sit down fully with gear. You got to kind of do one of these numbers. When you get on one knee, you can just stand right back up and stand up to the part. So they were wrong for criticizing about that. They were also wrong, like I said, this man, and I listened to what he was saying. A lot of the things that he said, that he used rationality. It wasn't about going down there and trying to start a war. It wasn't going down there, but it was showing the fact that that get the powers to be. Listen, there's somebody's going to back the underdog up. What conscious? So I said that's it's all it is. It's psych them out. It's a psych out game. And when you got people, and so what they would do, the enemy would do this fear tactics. And so when they would go out and kill different groups of people and set tyranny, they would send their race soldiers out. They would say to set tyranny. So they wanted to put fear in people who are poor. They make it seem like the evil wants to be justified, so they can continue doing evil because they feel like they're not going to be punished under the law, and it's not going. And this man was smart enough to know that. But since I know the law too, but I have justification. If you do something evil, I'm going to encourage them. You can fight back in evil, and you have to play the concept and use the constitutional law, justify self-defense. That's what it's basically about, because some people attack and it's your right to self-defense. It was not about going down and attacking individuals. But if someone's so mean and they got so much hatred and to provoke somebody, what else you gonna do? You're gonna respond, but at the same time, you're not gonna go down with irrationality and anger. You're gonna use your head and know if you go down there and just start going off on somebody, because the people of these different groups oppose against this, a militia, these hate groups, they play the advocate of the devil. So what they want to do is to provoke, and they've been saying this for years. They want to provoke a war, a race war. What they wanted to do was provoke a race war, so it would try to think that these guys are not intelligent enough. This black militia and other groups are not intelligent enough, so they can bait them and hope to send a message. That's basically what it was. But this man have enough smart and wherewithal to see through that. That's what people don't seem to understand. This guy, he knows you about the baiting. He's made chess and checker move, but he makes it. But he's, it's funny. It's like somebody is ever like, you ever see two people when you was a kid who gonna start the fight, and so you put one chip on your shoulder, you put another chip on your shoulder, and whoever smacked the chip off, the gloves come off and they start fighting. But that's how the way that they want to put the chip on your shoulder, and see they can say, go ahead, you can smack it off. But it was his smartness was saying no, because I know if I strike, then I know that it's gonna look like they was the cause. And when they get down to the nitty gritty, who did the attacking? They did. So I had to justify and hold back, and so when you attack me, then I can come attack because you started the attack. That's basically what it is. And people were getting attacked, and it was defenseless. I mean, if it had to go to that degree, but that's basically what it was. If you think about it, it's common sense. Every group of people protect themselves. Every individual man gonna protect his household. Every woman gonna protect herself. You're not gonna let somebody just go and attack you without defending yourself. And people weren't being defended. But this guy moved on a whole intelligent level because they thought that they can run. He's just a typical radical, guy. He don't know nothing about what we talk about. He had to go, and sometimes that part of him had to. And when you hear the way he presented himself, I know I've been up in your boardrooms. I know the way you talk. See, there's a certain type of demographic of people that know how to go in and talk to people and get their point across very intelligently, with authority. And some people, they have no choice but to respect that. That's what basically what it was. And so that's why I wanted to comment on it. And it was really something. And the thing down in Louisville, Kentucky, it wasn't about that, but it was so much injustice going on in places like Louisville, Kentucky, where there's one-sided, there's two sides of a law. Here you have a constitution that said we're all equal up under the law, but it's like what the law should still apply to these people just based on their skin color and their ethnic background. But the constitutional law didn't say that. So I'm going to operate before I do something. I got to lower it up and say, by the law of this land, I can do this. I should have the right. And as you saying that the law is for them, then the law should be for me. If we're paying taxes and everything, it should not be two laws. It should be one law. That's basically what it is. It's all about that. But people who are in poverty, a majority that come from these neighborhoods that are predominantly black, they don't think that they have a wherewithal because there's a history to think that you don't have no say so, and then they change the laws. Then they use church law. This guy who's ahead, he knows this. That's how he's smart. Before he used strategy to do things, and you sit down and think about it. Say he wasn't gonna go down there and just start going and go like yeehaw, start shooting at people and killing innocent people. I said no, that was not his. No, that was far from his attention. It was to let the powers that be to know the time need to stop. I know what you're doing. I know, you're doing, and I'm going to let the other people know, because that's what the devil don't like to be exposed. That's what basically was about. And sometimes a show of force and a word of mouth is more powerful and let you know what's really going on. That you need to know that your rights is being violated, and you need to know you are a citizen, and that's why he would quote the Constitution. I listened to this guy. I'm like, wow. And he was telling you, he's translating the law to the people. This is why they justify doing this. That's why I was like, wow, man, this guy is pretty. And a lot of people don't know. They don't think about this. So sometimes it's like, wow, why does he got to dress all in a suit and tie? Why does he got to dress to come? He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. And he says, sometimes, if you look at the Bible, when the Hebrew boys had to go before the king, it couldn't be just any Hebrew boys. They had to come. There had to be a certain demeanor in order to come before the kings of the land. They had to talk a certain way. They had to walk. There's a certain thing when it comes to it. When you go inside of a presidential or a kingdom, it's a certain element and atmosphere, and know the laws of that king before you can go and talk to that king or that president of that land. You just can't go in and talk like some old crazy person off the street. You have to have someone that know how to master the atmosphere of what atmosphere and articulate themselves right. That's what basically about. And so when he comes back to his people, he can articulate to them what is going on at the top. And this is what the powers that be did not want a person like this to do. It's true. They didn't want someone like a Malcolm X. They didn't want someone like a Marcus Garvey, because Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and the Martin Luther Kings, they know how to articulate. It was the they know how to express themselves, which most people don't. They know how to express themselves one way, and you can talk to them any kind of way, and they think that because you come from this atmosphere of poverty, they think that you're not too bright, and they put that on stereotype on all blacks. I mean, they said, look at the way they talk. They don't have no formal education. We're superior to them because of their mental status. This has been through the history. That man had to break that stereotype. So he studied to break the stereotype. So I know how to articulate myself. I know how to put on a different coat. Yeah, he has to use some rough language, but he know how to articulate stuff to get to the top, to talk to top dogs, the top official. That's what he had to put on a different coat. I understood still what he had to do. If you really listen to somebody, but most people don't listen to people. I mean, he's a man with rational, but sometimes you get some. How can I say this? Sometimes you gotta get somebody who can get a little off the wall, a little crazy, to let people know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because some people, even though you can rationalize with them, people think that rationality. That some people think that you're weak. They think that you're slow. They think there's something wrong with you. They think that you have no intelligence. But you get somebody who don't take no crap and get straight to the point and just say, hey, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm talking to your language. You understand with authority. And so when it gets to the point, because they used to have an authority, and they feel threatened because they never had someone talk to them like that. Because some people are not used to, they feel like they're the smart ones. They feel like they're the bright ones. They feel like they should be talking to them because they were lower hue of people. So, but he broke that stereotype. And so that's the reason why. Because they never seen, and he was right, they scared. This is something that they've been scared of for a long time, is the people for the unite. That they would come to their senses, and they're going to figure out one way is to unite. Don't rise up another person about a group. And if you do, get a background. And this guy, he knows that. This guy knows the ins and outs because he saw what happened to Marcus Garvey. He saw what happened to Malcolm X. This guy is smart. He's not no dummy. He's not going to let a door open for you to come in and find out. He know he sounds like he's the guy that know the crosses, dies, and dot his Q's. He's not no dummy, ladies and gentlemen. I know, it seemed, and just because it's some little incident, And I was hearing what he was saying lately, that sometimes accidents do happen, and it's not because someone carelessly did that. Things do happen sometimes. Accidents do happen, and no matter if it's police procedure, military procedure, do we criticize them because of something that they do? No, things do happen. Sometimes some people make mistakes. So, and then there's people criticizing them that, like he said, they haven't done. They're not willing to go to and above to go confront the powers that be. They know how to talk a lot of stuff, but they don't go and do what he do. They don't know how to go and talk. So why are you criticizing someone who's able to have the boldness, have the knowledge to go and step to somebody who able to do it? Why are you hating on somebody? And that's a good point. If you're not going to do something, then stay like it's true. Stay in your lane. If you're not going to do what he do, but that don't have the fear of death, that don't have the fear of consequences, because some people are like that. Some people are wired like that. And don't let someone's size or whatever fool you. You don't let someone's mentality fool you. That man's smarter than what you think he is. He's very intelligent. But we're not used to seeing, and I think that even with some black people, they're not used to seeing a black man that intelligent, that know how to articulate itself. And I'm just giving, and I hope someone hear this and take heed to this. He's not who you think this misconception of it was. He squashed that. And all you have to do is sit down and listen to a person and hear what he's really saying. Some people hear what they want to hear, and some people, but you have to really listen by where is he coming from? What is his spirit? Where is he really coming from? Some people go by a video and they just look at you and they just say, something wrong with this dude. But they never really take the time out to really hear somebody. What he's saying, it makes a lot of sense. We have witnessed time and time again. There's been other methods of people trying to get justice and never got true justice. Just like what's happening now with the victims of, unfortunately, getting killed by the police or regular citizens who don't receive the justice and don't receive proper justice. And if you don't receive proper justice, it feels like people I'll give you an example. Mr. Floyd and Breonna. Some people were down there not for the right reasons. You know what they made? They, instead of honoring Breonna, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, they made it about a political thing. They made it all about politics. They, instead of letting them have, it's a time for that, but they couldn't even let that go. They took the whole sermon and talk about, forget about the person who has passed away. Forget about the person whose family is hurting. Forget about the fact. That's the last thing they think about. The family is voting. They're going through a trauma. And you seen people, they show up at those funerals, and they would try to have their own agenda by using George Floyd's platform, his day of life, and for the people who honored, who loved him. All these other people didn't know who George Floyd was. That's like a lot of these people don't know who Brenna Taylor was. Only the people who were closer to Brenna Taylor. But these other people made it a political thing. They wasn't really fighting for the family. They're not really fighting for thing. Like what NFAC did. They were fighting for Brenna Taylor. That's what they were going for. They went to go and fight for the victim. That's what they were going for, because the family said, everybody's taking, no one's listening. Everybody's made it about, won't you vote? Won't you do this? Won't you do that? When it's the victim's family saying, I want justice. That's what it was basically was about. It was really sad that someone would take someone victimized and make it political, because it made on the social media and basically national news. We know that there's some people, and it's a shame that it took a slogan for other people to really like Black Lives Matter. The issue, it took a shame. But some people, what happened before the Black Lives Matter? How come Black Lives Matter didn't matter 5 years ago? 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Why does it take all the way something now? Why? So you got to ask yourself, and then you got to wonder, of all those protesting, who's really for the victims, or who's trying to or they want to be seen? Because anytime when something big like that happened, where it make national news, everybody, even when Martin Luther King died, there's some people down there who had the heart for Martin Luther King, and there's some people just get big grandstand. They want to make their own point just to be part of history. And you have people like that from different walks of life. They didn't care nothing about Martin Luther King. They just want to ride his coattails because he was popular, he was hip. That's a hip thing to do. People do anything just for the popularity. But what that man did down in Louisville, Kentucky, he was for the victim. His heart was for the victims. That's why he said, I want to talk to the ones who with the victim. This ain't about no grandstanding. This not about making your vote and anything like that. That's what I liked about the black militia. They didn't make about that. We're not down here for no stupid stuff about it's your right to vote. No, we're down here for the justice of Brenna Taylor. That's what it was basically was about. And I take my hat off to him because her mother and her family and her loved ones wanted to see justice. And it wasn't getting justice, and it was something bigger than what he was saying. So he had to go behind the walls of the big house to find out what's really going on. And it's something, and it took a physical force of people dressed in all black, who are black, African American, whatever you want to call it. They say, "Oh Jesus, what the heck is this?" Now, are you willing to talk? And you just think it's going to be a few little protesters. But I understand it was, you have to, even though he wasn't coming down there, but the physically threat, but I want some answers. So somebody be like, it's sometimes some people kind of blow you off. But you got to get someone really that know what to talk about. Get up in someone's face and say, what's up? Give me some answers now. And don't give me no bull crap. And I understand because some people they think that they can talk you down. They think that you're not intelligent, you don't know anything. And that's what they were treating Breonna's family. Well, we're just going to get passive. Why is this ain't no justice being done on this young lady who had no criminal record, whose boyfriend had no criminal record? She was an outstanding, citizen. She, saved people. That's why he moved down there. He didn't just go down there just to go. He down there because he saw that it was injustice. And sometimes people want to play off like, no, I'm here to confront the evil, the unjust. That's basically what it is. But I have to confront it with logic and reason to get to know what logic and reason. And sometimes some people feel like they get a sense of arrogance because, look at these poor black people, these poor people down. They don't just tell them anything. Just brush them off. Just get no. Sometimes you have to bring in an outside source. And what's up? You're not gonna blow this. I know your politics. I know what your attitude, your personality, and everything. You're not gonna blow this off. That's basically what it was. It's not about we're gonna go down there and just jump on innocent people and start a war. No, that's something that these crazy nutballs were trying to do. The man's too rational. Listen to what he's saying and get the other side of the story. Don't just grab something and snip it. And so you got to get it from his. Listen to both sides. And I listen to both sides and say, that don't even sound right. And then you really get to listen to the person. Why did he do this? Why did he go down to Stone Mountain? Why did he do it? Because there was someone just kept on doing what they do. I have to show you that the time has changed. No more of this. And I have to bring force down this ship like an army. They're going. If I have to bring a regiment down, which technically that was like a regiment of people down there, they're gonna get some answers. They can't just blow off a few people like, oh, go ahead, whatever, go. And there's people that got that condescending attitude. That's why the whole thing was about. It was not about coming down there and blowing something, burning something up, and shooting at cops. And no. It was nothing. like that. That's why I say you have to listen to people. You have to really listen to people. What was the whole thing in Kentucky? What was that really about? Because it was injustice, and then people pick up their own political gain and want to use it for their platform. Okay, now that you see that there's injustice, now if we get this person in office, it has nothing to do with it. It's not a time for something like that. Right now, the victim wants justice. They don't care who's in office, because you can get somebody who's in office and don't believe in justice. That's the truth. So that's what it was basically. It was about. It was not going down there, like a bunch of baboons and doing like some crazy person doing just because someone's political belief. Put bombs like these other crazy idiots do, and blowing up something because they have some disagreement with the government and the way things do. There's a way you do something without having to go to that measure. And I said that man used his head. It was the chess and checker game. That's all what it was. Just listen to somebody. Don't just jump to assumptions. That it was something that you don't know nothing about. And at least get the idea and talk with the person. Ask them. Don't just make up a video on somebody you don't know nothing about, and you're not close to them. You haven't talked to them. You didn't, and like he said, you didn't go down there. You didn't face the devil. You didn't face the lion. So you have no room. He's right. You have no room to talk. You don't know. And it's easy to sit back and like he was. It's true to criticize from the computer when you haven't done the work. That's true. Some people willing to. There's some people that talk a mess. Then there's people that do something, and they're not scared, afraid to show their face. They don't care. They do not care. And there's some people in these days and age. I take my hat off to people like that, because someone got to do it. And then have the wherewithal, who have the guns to go down there and do it the right way. Because some people, that's the only thing they understand is, you have the gun on you. You get my point. Even though you don't have to use it. Sometimes you have to flex your muscle. If you don't have to flex your muscle. It makes and raise your temper up, and it says something to get the point. Do you understand? And look at them like they're crazy. Like I could get crazy too if you want to, but you're going to understand my point. It's like, to that person, whoa, because some people are like a bully. They have a personality like a bully, and that's the type of man. He know how to handle people who think that they know it all, that they intelligently. He know how to get his point across. That's basically what, and I give him a lot of credit for that. But when you listen to him, listen to them. Just listen to people. Don't make an assumption. Don't make out the stereotype of something you don't know. You don't know that person. There's some people that will do some, and some people have got tired. But even though there's people that have done it and they did it not directly without thinking, and there's people in the community that think and plan, and then they act out, and they have a plan, and it was logic. It was logic and sense. Now, whether some other people don't think so, then why don't they? And he's right. Why don't you do what you do? Stop criticizing what he do, and do what you do. If you think it's better for your own community, people, it's easy for someone to sit up back there and say something when you haven't did what he did. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to do that. And hey, I ain't mad at dude, because sometimes there's some people in this world, they don't understand, and you can talk irrationality, and they think you're weak. You try to be reasonable, they think you soft. They think that you're passive, you're naive, and they just think that you're just full of hot air. You're not gonna do nothing. What you gonna do until you show action? And when you show action, then it's like, oh, I didn't think this was gonna come this way. Now you understand. So I have a deep, greater respect for what they did. They go down there to Kentucky, and did what they did. Someone has to send a message. Old things are dying. This is a new decade. It's a new time. This is a new generation raising up. You're not going to do the things of the past like you did it in 30, 40, 50 years ago. This is a whole different attitude. The different generation. And some of the old generation that tried to do it their way, they're getting old and they're passing away. This is a new generation. It's called they ain't gonna take no crap. It means consequences. And by Malcolm X used to say by any means necessary. It's a generation like that right now. There's some people will go out and do it. There's always someone got that one crazy person in their family. They don't care. That it's like I gotta go confront the bully. Everybody's scared of the neighborhood bully because he feel like he got power until someone is crazy enough to go confront him and go knock him off his block. And sometimes it don't take another big person to match up size with the bully. It's how hard you hit the doggone bully and make him think. That's all what it's come down to. Some people like to be the bully. And so he went to go confront the bully. And and some people look at him because of size or whatever, or probably judge. You don't know what that man know. You don't know that. You don't know that man could be a Blackfoot kung fu martial arts expert. You look at him, and some people probably did say it about him. You don't know, because one thing I learned about warfare and fight is never fair. When the gloves are off, when you street fight, it ain't nothing fair about a street fight. Ain't nothing fair about war. And that's from what I understood. That's what it means. If it take a street fair fight, we don't throw someone innocent out there. Get out the way. Go to the one who's causing the chaos. Go to the one who directly is the evil. Then you street fight against them. You don't go street fight against the person who was evil. I mean the ones who's innocent. His war is not with you. His war is against the evil. I gotta take down the evil. That's the mentality. That's the mentality of any man or woman stand up. I gotta go against the evil. I don't go against the innocent. If you innocent, that's one thing. Then you operate like a God-like mindset. They had nothing to do with it. Go after the evil. Go after the bully. Go after the intimidator. Go after the one that's just that he think that because he got many guns and he know how to fight and he's using it in a way of tactical way of being a bully. And sometimes some people think that and I go back to the David Goliath story. They think that Goliath represents some kind of territory and power. And that's why Goliath feel like and people saw how he was able to defeat an whole army because of his size and his muscle and his warfare. And some people get kind of cocky when they get to be like that. They think that they're cocky, and they don't think no one out there. And so people, there's always been someone who that they roll up on who don't have that wherewithal to fight them and confront them and fight to the death. But now you got a man that say I will fight you to the that you got individuals or many individuals like him that say I'll fight you to I don't give a crap, but I'm gonna take some of you evil people out. And it's like damn, and it's something that it shakes the people because evil wants to keep doing what evil does. But when evil's like, if I'm gonna take you out, I'm gonna do it in a righteous way. Because if I'm going, you going, and there's some people are like that, and it's like, there's people that make it's easy to say it, but when you face with someone, you've been the one that's been the predator. When a predator, and you don't know this predator about to go against someone who's a non-predator, but when he meets someone who look like they can be a predator, just like that's one thing I learned about the animal kingdom. You don't know how the animal gonna fight when he's scared. It's either you fight or you die. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna kick. I'm gonna bite. I'm gonna poke. But you gonna feel this, and sometimes the predator of the animal feel it, because whatever fight out is gonna fight to the death. So that's the way some people think in the human kingdom, like the animal kingdom. They try to find someone who is they want a prey, and who is a predator. He said, okay, I'm gonna protect the prey. So when the predator come, I'm gonna confront the predator. That's basically what it is. And so the predator, when they see this man in this black militia, they scared, because they used to being a predator and being a bully and being a tactic and think that they can hide away. No, you're not gonna hide. If you that crazy enough, you the predator. I want to challenge the predator, who think he's crazy because he's a bully. And that's just the same thing you learn in school. There's some people that just like that don't want to fight and say, hey, let me know. And the person know that they're the predator. They come every day. But one day they go around and start beating kids up, whatever, until they get to that one kid. They get to that one kid, and I mean, he knocks the living shit out of their ass. And they weren't expecting that. Oh, and that kid goes, man, and I mean, bam, bam. I mean, he trying to kill him until he understand to the point. Until I'm gonna teach you a lesson or you can't keep being a predator without the consequences coming back on you. That's basically what the moral of the story is. And so that's what, and this is what these groups of people have been about. Because if they let the law embolden them to do what they do, that's why you have all these unjustified killings of black people. That's what it was basically about. So they feel like that's what they were doing for the past 300-something years. Till a man, and every time a man, we got to cut it off. And basically they make the people who's protecting the prey, they're the enemy. They're the terrorists. Hi, I'm protecting who is the prey, and it's like the shepherd protecting his sheep. Now the shepherd is the terrorist for protecting his sheep from the fox. Really? But the fox wanted to come in and attack the sheep and kill the sheep. So sometimes God has to sign a shepherd who's crazy to go up against the fox, against the lion, against the bear, and say, I don't give a damn. We're gonna fight all the way to the end. You bring your animals killed. We gonna get crazy. A human versus the animal, until that animal knows, no, you're not gonna keep doing what you do. That's basically. If you understand the concept, that's what it was. It was not down there to cause havoc. It was called, someone was trying to send a message to say, when they made that announcement, they was going to shoot black people. That put the scare in some black people. Tell some black people, say, oh no, if you crazy to come down here, you're going to deal with the whole bunch of us, and we don't care, because if you's killed, then you're not going to go back home and enjoy a beer and have sex with your girlfriend, or you're not going to live life as normal. Because if you put havoc on somebody, we're going to bring havoc. It's like you're going to bring havoc back to you, because you not directly to the individual, not to the whole group of people, but the individual that decided to step out of that group of people to feel like I can infiltrate evil on people. That's what that was all about. It was not. I mean, any rational man is not going to go do something like that. But these people who threaten to attack, it's the same thing. Someone threatened the United States. What did the United States go do? They go deal with the person who threatened them. Am I right? And someone kept on saying, you ain't gonna do shit. We're gonna come over and bomb your shit. And then they come all up in your land. What you gonna do? They're challenging you. So that's why when you see militaries come out, that's a show of force. It's like, what you gonna do? Come on, and they about to go toe to toe. You see it over in South Korea. North Korea start rising up. South Korea rising up. North Korea rise up with their military. South Korea, United States coming behind them. What you gonna do? Until somebody says, whoa. Well, that man understands that. He understands something that what you gonna do. You gonna flex? Well, I'm gonna flex too. It's like, well, and it feel like because they want to be the predator over the prey. Sometimes God has to raise up a man that can stand up against the predators of this world. I understand that. That's what basically what it's about. It's about standing up against the predators of this world. So that's what the guy, Grandmaster Jay, is about. He's the man that stands against the predators. And they're not used to seeing someone stand against the predators. He stands for the unjust. That's righteous. He don't just go out and get, and he's very smart, very intelligent. He just doesn't put himself. When he see unjust, and he used the reference of the Bible, he gives it to y'all, and he feels it's justified. Go do what you gotta do. That's a smart man. You don't just jump in any battle and know what the concept and know. But when they see this, I'm going against the unjust. It's not about someone has to do it to make a change. So I don't think that they should have got criticized for that. Because there's some people out in this world they bully, and they want to keep doing what they do because they got a badge. They want to keep doing it because they feel like they're bold to do it. That when someone stand up and let them know your time is, you keep doing what you're doing, while you trying to take me off the earth, you got to go. You coming right with me, and they don't like to think like that. There's some people like that. They'll take you off the earth just as fast because they want to keep doing what they do. They want to keep doing evil once you're doing evil. And some people, they don't believe in just turning the other cheek. They don't believe in just letting evil run another day. No, we're going to deal with you now because it was evil is the planet. It's come a time when evil has to stand down. If your hatred got to stand down. If you let your hatred turn into murder, something's going to happen. And that's basically what it was. It was a confrontation. Sometimes you had to use strategy and use logic. That's basically what it was. That was pretty slick, pretty moved. And so I don't think he should have got criticized. I don't think he should never got criticized for that, because who else would have done it? Some people get tired. One man had to stand up and say, "Hey, you're not moving fast enough."
Well.
He was just the man that just stepped up, and he means what he's saying. And some people, they can't talk to him like he's not intelligent, because he said, "Don't talk to me like I'm less intelligent. You talk to me crazy, I'm gonna come at you crazy," because he knows their mindset. He knows the coat that they wear. He knows the mindset that they do. That's understandable. Sometimes some people got to come out a little rough because some people don't understand logic and sense. They think they don't. Sometimes you just got to talk a certain language. You have to raise your voice up, and sometimes I don't agree with cussing, but sometimes some people, that's the only language they understand. And sometimes in the language of cussing, you see the anger rising up, and then you see the language rising up. They're like, "Oh," and it's like it's about to go to another different level. Sometimes even with someone's voice, like I said, you can roar like a lion. Look at the lion, how it roars. All the lion has to do is roar, and everything in that jungle knows the lion is roaring. Everything, all he has to do is roar, and everything from the elephant to the hippo to the zebra to the giraffe and to every other, and they know that. What the heck is that? And sometimes it takes a man to roar like a lion to get the kingdom's attention. And FAC did that. They roared. Now the kingdom, it has to be a shaking in the kingdom. I understand. Sometimes you got to roar like a lion in order to get your point across. Because some people they don't hear you. They don't hear roar. They don't hear bark. When you hear roar, you don't hear growl. You know that they're like, That's sometimes a roar. A roar will get a lot more attention than or a growl will get, and a roar will get a lot more attention than a bark. Some people like the bark, and then some people like the roar. And when they roar loud. It's like, whoa. And they make you think, and you sound like it's a whole army coming at them. That's why God did that one time. And again, it was something, he used a reference. I mean, it makes sense like out of the Bible. They had the roar to make it think that because when they saw these few men that were coming, like in the case with the one man that went against the whole army. And the whole army saw that was these few men. Oh, these men, these men ain't nothing. We could take these men down. But when God was on the side of the least, when they heard the roar, the Bible say that they shook because where this thundering of hundreds and thousands of armies are coming. They're coming, and the roar and the thundering of horses is coming. That whole big ass army that was coming against the man of God, and I don't know, it was Gideon was one of the people. They heard that and they retreat because they say this is something this is something that we ain't used to see. It scared, it freaked them out. So that's sometimes it takes someone like that to roar, and when they roar, I said, sometimes you don't have. It's not the act. They have to get violent. And you don't have to act the war, but it makes you think that we go on the war when sometimes war don't even have to take place. It's basically to get the enemy prepared. If you launch something, be prepared to be dealt with the consequences. That's basically what it's about. So I understood what he was saying. Sometimes you have to roar, and that's wisdom of God. That's only people of God knows this. People of God knows sometimes I'm not gonna get my people hurt, but if I have to roar to let them know I'm about to roar. So when they hear they shake them in their boots, like, whoa, I thought this was gonna be the easy, lolly dally. No, there's some people not gonna go la 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 la. There's some no, because that's like a bark. This man roared, and he was right. It did shake people. It was all over the internet. It shook people. It shook the people that down there in Kentucky. It shook the people in Georgia. He shook them when they seen all those people. There was a lion. That army coming. That army was coming, and you gonna show up. And then when people say, "Oh, they're gonna be confronted by one of them groups," you crazy enough to go up against that many people with guns and shotguns who are skilled just as you do? Oh, is you crazy? I wouldn't mess with you. Gotta be stupid enough to go down there and mess with someone like that. A whole army of people, and they skill. You don't know their skill. You don't know how good they are with the gun. Their fighting tactics and everything, and they can match you in fights and could probably be a lot better than you. We don't know that, but if they push it to the extreme, they might even not have to use the gun. The women and men on the NFAC, they don't probably have to use a weapon or gun. They know how to. Trust me. Don't look at something think that it is. So the message I was send to those people criticizing him: don't underestimate that man. Don't underestimate his people. Hey, when you hear something, you recognize. Anybody here by the Spirit, you recognize that. Oh yeah, I know that passage. When you see an army rising up, that's an army rising. I saw that army was rising. Like, oh Jesus, in the ship, because they never seen nothing like that. And it's just a man that all he did was went down and roared. He didn't come down to cause no violence. He just had to roar like the lion. And sometimes when you roar, like the lion in the jungle, the whole kingdom hears. The whole lion animal kingdom hears. People have to hear it. So sometimes they have to see, or all these lions are roaring, and then when they see the army of lions coming, then it's like, oh shoot, all these lions are coming. The lioness and the lions are coming. And they coming to look, to scope out the territory. So I just want to lay that message out to those. So hey, don't judge unless you know That's the wrong person to mess with. When they got the heart of a lion, they got a heart of eyes of an eagle and a heart of a lion. And someone has a boldness like that, that they don't care, and they go. I heard the message, and I believe they will do it. And that's someone that got that kind of command. They'll do it. They'll do it. So my advice to you: don't mess with that man. Don't mess with him. Leave him alone. Don't. It's a warning. Don't mess with that man. I'm telling you. Don't mess with him. He's not your. He's not your. This man is very intelligent. He's very intelligent. I ain't never seen a man moving a matter like a black man move like that. I've never seen nothing like that. He's at a whole different level than any person I've ever seen on him. I've seen people say something, and I mean, for this man to get that many people coming from out of the woodwork with and he's smart. He's very intelligent. I salute him for that. And so I hope this video get out to somebody. Stop. Don't mess with that man. You dealing with a lion. You dealing with someone. If you're not willing to go against a lion, don't back down. Back down. You don't know. Some people are lying. Don't let the size fool you. Don't let his size fool you. That's a lion. Kingdom people know kingdom people, and that's what's just food for thought. So I hope people will take this message, and I hope that you like it. But yeah, just let them do what they got to do. They're doing it for a reason. It's not what you think of what it is. It's not about violence and going out and causing havoc on the other side. Sometimes it's confronting the bully. Sometimes you got to confront. You have to deal with the person who wants to be the big bad dog in the cage, who's trying to scare all the other dogs away. It has to take one dog, one unusual dog that have to let that big dog know, no, you're not gonna keep doing what you're doing. And people learn that from being in jail and prison. It's funny how the way the human kingdom and the animal kingdom go. But anyway, till next time, you guys take care.